Coming up in today's vlog. We're cruising on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. But will we actually make it to Liverpool?
Is a lock closure up ahead? Yes. Well, they're closing the whole flight off, to be honest. Today.
We learn about the history of Burnley. The Burnley section of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal was opened in 1801. Cotton mills line the canal here, which not only provided transport for cotton and coal, but also water for the steam engines that powered the machinery. And we're 60 feet up in the air as we glide on one of the 7 wonders of the Inland Waterways. Put it out. Good morning, everybody. It's a bit wet and dreary and dismal today, but no matter, we are heading towards Burnley. I think you say it Burnley. You have to say it with an accent, you know, like most of these places. So yes, we're in Lancashire. And it's quite nice around here. We've stayed here near the aqueduct. Nice little moorings, pins, but never mind, you know. That's to be expected these days. There are some visitor moorings. I think there's some supermarkets. Well, there was actually an Asda just down here from where we've moored, so Jan was able to get some shopping in. There's a Morrison's right next to the canal a bit further down. And then, of course, there's all the industrial heritage that the Leeds and Liverpool has as it goes through Burnley, which I'm sure you'll see in a few minutes. Ooh, it's looking a bit grey over Bill's mother's. If you've never heard that, it's an old saying from the Midlands and the North, meaning it's about to rain. A very colourful boat that has certainly brightened up a dull day. This CRT workboat was being helmed by a new employee under training. They were obviously a bit nervous and we'd slowed down, taking it nice and wide, but unfortunately they steered into the bushes and trees. But no harm done, and they went on their way. If you thought Burnley was just industrial, think again. This impressive structure makes you feel like you're floating on air. Above the houses, above the rooftops. The Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries transformed Burnley from a rural village into an industrial town. The introduction of steam power and mechanised looms revolutionised textile production, making Burnley a hub for cotton manufacturing. The Burnley Embankment, also known as a straight mile, is a canal structure that carries the Leeds and Liverpool Canal over the rooftops of Burnley in Lancashire. It was built between 1796 and 1801. It was an innovative solution to canal engineering problems at the time. It allowed boats to cross the valley without the need for logs at either end. The embankment is 60 foot high. It has two aqueducts, one over the River Calder and one over a main road. There are two side tunnels known as gimlet holes, which were added in 1896 to allow pedestrians to cross the embankment. The entire culvert was rebuilt in 1926 and 1927 to increase the height and widen the aperture. The embankment is widely regarded as one of the 7 wonders of the British waterway system. It is also considered one of the largest double embankments in the country. The Burnley section of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal was opened in 1801. This area is called the Weaver's Triangle. That's a bit of a modern name, but it does actually describe the area quite well. cotton mills line the canal here, which not only provided transport for cotton and coal, but also water for the steam engines that powered the machinery. This stone warehouse at Burnley Wharf was built in 1801. The other warehouses alongside were added later in the century. I believe so, yeah. That's the one then. Today this complex has been restored for use as a pub, offices and the Weavers Triangle Visitor Centre. Good morning everyone. Well, we had a nice quiet night here by the wharf, built in the 1800s. Nice to be next to some heritage. Ooh, lovely. And don't believe all the scare stories that you're told about stopping in places. Do some of your own research and get a feel for the place. It's lovely and quiet here. Birds are tweeting. Use Google Maps if you want to and have a look at the overview of where you are, because we know that there's a car park behind us. This is now a business or some such, and there's a heritage centre which wasn't open, unfortunately. Hasn't been since we've been here, otherwise we'd have gone in there and had a look at the history. But yes, certainly have a look at Google Maps and you can see what's around here. Countryside mainly. The town is behind us. There's some fast food places if you want some, but it's generally a nice quiet area. We've had no problems whatsoever. We're going to be getting off in a minute. We've got to do Water and Elstown, then we've got to moor up. Our big problem, oh look, here's Jan.
Morning.
Is a lock closure up ahead. Yes. the big load of locks, the Wigan flight. One of them is closed. Well, they're closing the whole flight off, to be honest. Today, it's Thursday today, and they're opening it again tomorrow. It's basically just so they can have a look at a sill on one of them. Now, if it's anything like the Barrowford locks, which we've just encountered, that may mean that the sill is blown, which means it's leaking underneath, and they'll have to take it out, dry the lock. That will then mean the whole of the flight will need to be closed for at least a fortnight.
Well, no, they did the other one in a week. Yeah.
10 days-ish.
No.
But we don't really want to do that. So as it's coming up to the weekend, we think that, okay, they'll do the inspection. There's going to be an update tomorrow to see what's happening. And then presumably they'll say, yes, okay, Monday it'll start. We're going to close it off.
We're just going.
So we're going to go as far as we can. We've got to get through Blackburn. There's some locks at Blackburn. And we've got Johnson's Hillock locks to get through. So we've got 2 sets of locks to get through before we get to the Wigan flight anyway.
And a tunnel.
Yeah, and a little tunnel, yeah. But hopefully we can do that before the end of the weekend.
Yeah,
so by Monday.
We've already put our week back.
Oh, in Liverpool.
Going into Liverpool yeah. So we can't do it again.
No.
And it'll start getting full now, won't it?
Yeah.
And we can't have Amy Jo circling around waiting for us.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's get off. Here we are then at Rose Grove facilities. Although I'm not sure what facilities they actually got. We've got water, that's the main thing. We've emptied the Elsan, despite the fact that it says the Elsan is closed. The toilets are closed, pump out's closed. In fact, you have to wonder what sort of facilities they are here. There's some nice, what could potentially be planters, which they're saying, please help yourself to things like herbs, I would guess. If only somebody could be asked to keep it up and keep the place looking a bit tidy, it might help. Oh, and fix the services. That'd be handy as well. You know, those little things that we pay for. Yeah. Anyway, rant over for today. Let's carry on and find a mooring spot. If you've ever cruised, walked or cycled along the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, you may have noticed these white lines at the top of a bridge and wondered what they were for. I did wonder what those white lines were on the top of the bridge. Then I realised that actually what happens is if you line up the centre top of your boat with that white line, you'll go through the bridge hole perfectly. And it works. Because I've done it twice now. First of these 6 Blackburn locks. And these all have handcuff locks on them, so you need your key. Did I say handcuff locks? Yeah. You know what I mean. Okay, clear. Thankfully there's an area back here under the bridge where I can hold the boat so Jan can get back on and we can go to the next lock. Wonder how long he's had to wait for the Wigan flight to open.
Thanks for watching our vlog through Burnley and Blackburn.
We didn't tell you where we moored up, but it was close to some friends of ours with a green boat. Now that might be a clue. Thank you to our supporters on Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee and channel members. If you want to join them, there's details down below in the video description. In the meantime, don't forget to give us a thumbs up for a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, it's totally free to do so. And then when you have subscribed, press the bell icon.
Ding!
Thank you, Jan. And YouTube will let you know next time we upload a vlog. In the meantime, stay safe everybody. Happy cruising. Bye.